Assalamu alaikum.
Sir, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Am I audible properly?
Ji sir.
Okay, great. Dear students, how are you? How is going? কেমন আছেন সবাই?
ভালো আপনি কেমন আছেন?
Alhamdulillah, bhalo.
Alhamdulillah. I'm very fine. Are there any foreign students joined?
No sir.
Okay. Let's start our class. So we are discussing the course Discrete Mathematics, and we are talking about the mathematical logic last class, mathematical logic and propositions. Okay, so we already discussed these topics: mathematical logic, propositions, some simple and compound statements, some basic logical operations like conjunction, disjunction, negation, and lastly we discussed very basics about truth tables and how to get constructed the truth table. Okay, so we are going today to discuss some other logical terms, logical operations. So I'm going to the chapter. I have discussed these logic operations, conjunction. We say this P conjunction Q or P and Q. What are P and Q? P and Q are some statements. Okay, some statements. So P conjunction Q, P and Q. Wait a minute. That's the truth table. Okay, that means P and Q is only true when the both statements are true. Okay, otherwise false. What about disjunction? Disjunction, we say P disjunction Q, or we say P or Q, and that's the truth table. That means the statement is false only for false value of both of the statements, right? Otherwise true. At least one statement is true, then the disjunction of the statements is going to be true. Okay, then we discussed the negation, which is just like a converter. True statement is going to be converted into false, false statement is going to be converted into true. Okay, these are the examples we already discussed. Ice plots in water. Let's assume this P, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Let's assume this Q. Then P or Q, that's true because ice plots in water is true. 2 plus 2 is equals 4. That's also true, right? So P or Q this time is true. China is in Europe. That's false, right? Or 2 plus 2 equals 4, which is true. So we say false disjunction, true. That's true, right? At least একটা true হইতে হবে. So at least one value যদি true হয়, then we would say that statement is true. Next, ice plots in water or 2 plus 2 equals 5. So in this case, first one is true, second one is false. So whatever true, disjunction false, that's also true. But what about the last one, last example here? China is in Europe, that's false. Or 2 + 2 = 5, which is also false. And this is the only case we get the false value for disjunction truth table. Okay, false, disjunction false, definitely give you some false value, right? Okay, so I have discussed already this thing in the last class. I'm going to discuss a new thing today, which is very interesting term, tautologies. So I will discuss these two things at a time in parallel: tautologies and contradictions. Tautologies and contradiction. Okay, so that's very easy to understand. Just concentrate. Tautology is just a statement which have only the truth value. Only the truth value true. That means for any entry for P and Q, the proposition is true. That's the tautology. আপনারা বাংলায় বলতে পারেন মহাসত্য। মহাসত্য অর্থাৎ আপনি লজিক্যাল যে ভ্যারিয়েবল গুলো থাকবে, লজিক্যাল যে স্টেটমেন্ট গুলো থাকবে, সেগুলোর যে ভ্যালুই হোক না কেন, আইদার ইজ ট্রু অর ফলস, the overall statement is going to be true. Okay, so it doesn't have any false value, then we will say that that's a tautology. Okay, let's read the definition here. Some propositions P contain only T, that means true, in the last column of their truth tables, or in other words, they are true for any truth values of their variables. Okay, such propositions are called tautologies. So can you guess what is contradiction?
এটার বিপরীত false.
Exactly, yes, exactly. Good. That's great. Contradiction is exactly the opposite thing, that have only the false value in the last column. Okay, so you can say any proposition which contain only false value in the last column of its truth table. Or you can say, in other words, if it is false for any truth values of its variables. Let's say, for example, for P value true and not P false, then you are going to get this value false for this expression. Okay, not only that, for any input we have the output false value. If you have any question, take the floor, please. Very simple. Any expression, any proposition which has only the value true, there are no false value, then that's a tautology. So with contrary with that, any expression which has only the false value, we will say that's a contradiction. Okay. So if I ask you to find whether a given proposition is a contradiction or not, or a tautology or not, then you can find the whether very easily. To just construct the truth table and notice that in the last column, are there any false value? If all the values are true, then the statement is tautology. If all the values in the last column are false, then it's a contradiction. Very simple. Okay, so আপনারা এই লিটারেচার গুলো অবশ্যই পড়বেন লাইন বাই লাইন, তাহলে মানে খুব ভালোভাবে বুঝতে পারবেন। And these are given in with examples here. Let's talk about logical equivalence. Logical equivalence. So two statements are logically equivalent. Now, what is logical equivalence? Let's assume two propositions P and Q, and they are said to be logically equivalent if they have identical truth tables. They have the same truth tables in the last column. Okay, and this is the notation. P is equivalent to Q. Okay. Let's look at these two truth tables. This is the truth table for this expression, not P and Q. You have not P or not Q. Not P or not Q. Look at the ultimate column. That's are identical, right? Those are identical. Same, they have same truth values in the last column. So we would say these two expressions are logically equivalent. Logically equivalent. And this is exactly the De Morgan's law. আপনারা জেনেছেন আমরা যখন বেসিক ফর্মুলাস গুলো দেখেছি, not P or Q, sorry, not P and Q is equal to not P or not Q. Okay, and we have another one, De Morgan's law, that's not P and Q, sorry, not P or Q, that's equal to not P and not Q. Am I right? These two are the De Morgan's law. আমাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছেন সবাই?
Yes, sir.
জি স্যার।
Okay. So any confusion, just ask the question, because question is the only way to learn anything. Okay, I always appreciate to question the teacher. Okay, these two are the De Morgan's law. I just said now. Okay, let's take a look to these set of formulas. We have two sets of formulas here. I give you 1 minute to take a look. We have associative laws, commutative laws, distributive laws, identical laws, involution, complement laws, and most importantly, De Morgan's laws. Is that okay? Let's talk about now.
Sir, capital T and P কি represent করতেছে?
Sorry, ask the question again.
স্যার ছকের মধ্যে ওই যে আইডেন্টিক্যাল লতে ক্যাপিটাল T and F কি রিপ্রেজেন্ট করতেছে?
Acha, P is any random proposition, any random statement. Its value may be true or false. Whatever the value is, the identical value is false. So let's say F disjunction F is F, and T in the disjunction F is also F. That's just a logical variable. P is just a logical variable here. Okay, not only this one, everything, every variables here, P and Q and sometimes R, and these all are the logical variables. Okay, and F means just the false value, T means just the true value. Is that okay? Understood?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. Let's talk about now the conditional and biconditional state. আমরা মাঝে মধ্যেই বলি যে যদি তুমি যাও তাহলে আমি যাব, তুমি গেলে আমি যাব, এরকম বলে। আমরা ইংলিশ গ্রামারেও পড়েছি কন্ডিশনাল, মনে আছে সবার?
Yes, sir.
এখানে কনসেপ্টটা ঠিক একই রকম। সো এরকম, this is the notation and we will read this P implies Q, P only if Q, মানে আমি ম্যাক্সিমামই P implies Q পড়ি। That means if P happen then Q will happen. Okay, if P is true then Q is true. That's the thing. So let's take a look to the truth table. That's interesting. This is the truth table for conditional statement. True and true give the statement true. True and false give the statement false. False and true give the statement true. False and false give the statement true. আপনি বললেন যদি আপনি যান তাহলে আমি যাব, তাহলে দেখেন সেও গেল আপনিও গেলেন, ঠিক আছে? সে যায়নি আপনিও গেলেন না, এই দুটো এই জন্য ট্রু হয়ে গেল। কিন্তু দেখেন সে গেল বাট আপনি গেলেন না, এইটাই একমাত্র ফলস ভ্যালু হবে এখানে, কারণ আপনি বলেছেন আপনি গেলে আমি যাব, আপনি বলেছেন সে গেলে আপনি যাবেন। আবার এটা দেখেন F and T gives the value T. That means আপনি যেহেতু বলেছেন আপনি গেলে আমি যাব, এখন সে যায়নি কিন্তু আপনি গিয়েছেন, এটা কিন্তু ট্রু। ডোন্ট বি কনফিউজ। অনেকেই এটা ফলস মনে করে, কারণ আপনি এমনটা বলেন যে আপনি না গেলে আমি যাব না, আপনি জাস্ট বলেছেন আপনি গেলে আমি যাব। That's the confusion, only confusion. Okay, keep in mind. So what's biconditional statement? আচ্ছা, তাহলে what's the conclusion here? The conditional P implies Q is false only when the first statement is true but the second is false. প্রথম স্টেটমেন্টটা যদি ট্রু হয়, সেকেন্ডটা যদি ফলস হয়, then the conditional statement is false. দেখেন প্রথমটা ট্রু, সেকেন্ডটা ফলস, then I give you false value. Otherwise the conditional statement is true.
স্যার প্রত্যেকটার ভ্যালু তাহলে কি সেকেন্ড স্টেটমেন্টের কন্ডিশনের উপর নির্ভর করে?
Definitely. Great observation. Great, thank you. Okay, so what is biconditional? Biconditional, this is the notation and we read it P if and only if Q. Okay, আমি একটু মুছে দিচ্ছি এগুলো। Okay, never mind. P if and only if Q, and this is the notation. That's the biconditional statement. অর্থাৎ আপনি এবার বললেন কি আপনি গেলে আমি যাব, আপনি না গেলে আমি যাব না। That's the difference. Nothing else. So let's look at the truth table. Just observe one thing. True and true give you the true value. True and false in this case is false. False and true in this case is false. And false give you true value. দেখেন আপনি যাচ্ছেন সেও যাচ্ছে, that's true. আপনি যাবেন সে যাবে না, that's false. কারণ আপনি বলেছেন আপনি গেলে আমি যাব, আপনি না গেলে আমি যাব না, এরকম বিষয়টা এরকম। So I think you better understood. Only এই যে আমি কনক্লুশনটা পড়ে দিচ্ছি। The biconditional P if only if Q is true whenever P and Q have same truth values, otherwise false. Am I right? দেখেন true যখন সেম ট্রুথ ভ্যালু হইলো তখন ইটস ট্রু, false এখনো কিন্তু সেম ট্রুথ ভ্যালু, দ্যাটস ট্রু। আর ডিফারেন্ট ট্রুথ ভ্যালু হইলে ফলস। Is there any question? I think it's easy to understand. If there is any question, please take the flat. Okay, so
Sir,
I discussed today tautology and contradiction. Please.
sir, false আর true হলে second answer true হবে না স্যার?
No, that's the thing. When the statement is biconditional, আমি একটু ইরেজ করে নিচ্ছি। আচ্ছা, when the statement is biconditional মানে that means P implies Q, sorry, P implies Q and Q implies P as well. Q implies P. So এই দুইটা জিনিস হচ্ছে একসাথে P if and only if Q. So দুইটাই যখন একই রকম হবে then the thing is true. দুইটা রকম যখন ভিন্ন হবে, দুটো যখন ভিন্ন হবে the thing is false. Okay, let's put your attendance here. Last 4 digits of your ID, please.
1009
1017
1001
1050
1074 স্যার।
1035
1022
1001 1004
1012
022
1015
113 1025
1079
1100
1031
যারা দিয়েছেন তারা মিউট করেন, যারা বাকি
1016
1074
1040
মাহমুদুল হাসান কত বললেন?
স্যার বলছি স্যার 1074 স্যার দিছেন স্যার।
ওকে, রাকিব আল
Sir, 109.
1109
Sir, 1122.
1144
Sir, 1109.
99, sorry. Okay.
109.
1031.
1092, Anita.
Sir, double 1109. Sir, 1109.
1109,
1059.
1059,
So 1121.
1121,
Sir, 49
1031.
CC.
1121, 49 CC.
Sir, 49 CC, sir, evening, sir.
Sir, 108.
1007.
1007,
Sir, 1097.
1097,
1031.
1082, 231.
Sir, 42.
Sorry. Never mind. Anyone more?
1036.
1104.
1104,
1115.
104 তো দিয়েছি সম্ভবত। আচ্ছা,
Sir, 1122 আছে।
1122.
Sir, 1115.
Okay, I put it.
1036.
1036,
So 1098.
98. Okay. আল হুমায়রা দিয়েছেন 1002.
Sir,
Omit করে-
11999.
এটা
Ji sir.
ওকে ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Sir,
1003.
1003,